It's the first episode. I like it. Get it going.
Oh.
Welcome to our very, very first episode of our podcast, Hip and Holy. He's hip.
He's holy.
Let's do it. My name is Jovan.
I'm Christian.
And we're just here to, hey man, you know what? We wanted to start this thing where we get a chance and an opportunity to reach out to you guys, connect with you guys as much as possible. I came to my homeboy Christian about a cool opportunity about starting a podcast. So here it is. We're excited. So just a little bit about what we're trying to do is our goal is to help bring relevant topics to you guys, but also connect it in a way where it builds you in your faith, but also builds you in community as well. We want to talk about some serious topics like dating, right? Everybody's experienced it. How's you and your girl, homie?
We doing good.
You good? How many years has it been?
2.
Hey, you faithful, my G. He's faithful, my G. So you're gonna lead the dating series when we talk about that one, all right? We're gonna talk about dating. We're gonna talk about school. And today we got a pretty interesting talk today. I'm pretty sure you guys already know about. If you've been connected with us on Instagram or TikTok. Follow the homie on TikTok. Give a little plug for your TikTok, bro.
Hey, check me out at Krish_burger. You know what I'm saying? TikTok. We got 20K on there.
20K. You got a comma? He's got a comma. 20,000, right? 20,000. Nice little plug, bro. That's like that. I like that. Go ahead of my boy on TikTok, so you guys can be entertained, but also build up as well. But so we're gonna be talking about some really relevant topics. But today, our episode 1, the title is "My Story with Anxiety." It's one thing that I know all of us can very much compare with, and we got a lot to say about it today. So we want to do a couple things. We want to talk about our experience. But we also want to educate you, but also encourage you as well. That's what we're going to always do every video that we have. We're going to always talk about our experience, educate, but also talk about an encouragement as well. Because our goal is to help you to have your faith in God to be richer and deeper in a profound way. Before we begin, I want to start by this. I came across this article, and if you guys want that article, we'll message you or we'll send you guys this article, and it's by Fuller Youth Institute. It's about, talks about the students and this awesome program that really reaches young people, teenagers. And they said this, and tell me if you compare to this, Chris, all right?
Okay.
And the whole article says we need to talk about anxiety. It's a really cool article. The guy said it like this. He says, anxiety is like being trapped in a box. You can't scream for help because you're too scared someone will hear you. I was like, oh, it's pretty deep. Anxiety is like being trapped in a box. You can't scream because you're too scared someone won't hear you. Some of the things that a lot of you guys may feel anxious about, because maybe you're failing class. Maybe you're afraid your parents will find out some things about yourself that you don't want them to find out about. Maybe your friends have left you on red. You don't know what you're supposed to do with your life. Does God have a plan for you? And if so, what is it? And what's interesting, Christian, when I read this article, it reminded me of a time after I got done preaching a message one day to our students. I'm the youth pastor at Christ Church. That's what the homie and I go to. One of the students came up to me and mentioned to me, after preaching a message about anxiety, like, Javon, I feel that I can listen to a message about anxiety every single week. And that resonated with me, man. That really resonated. I remember the student, them coming up to me, they were in tears. They were crying. They were really impacted by the message. They really felt like God was speaking to their hearts in a profound way. But to hear this student say, I can listen to a message about anxiety every week, resonated with me. Does that resonate with you?
Yeah, I definitely think that I could listen to
really
a lot about anxiety because it's so relatable. A lot of us are going through it and struggling with it.
Really?
Especially right now. So I think that's for sure.
You said especially right now.
Yeah.
Really? Is it due to COVID?
Yeah, just having like being inside all the time.
Yeah.
Not being able to go out.
Are you the type of person you gotta always be like busy?
Well, I like staying in.
Okay.
But I know a lot of people are
Oh.
struggling with it
Oh, really?
because they've been like kids who've been doing online school since last March.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are
Really?
having a hard time with that.
So it's funny. Well, it's not funny. It's interesting. A report came out or a study came out and it said anxiety is up over 40% for
Yeah.
teenagers.
Yeah.
40%. It is anxiety is the highest that has been in a very, very long time. What's your story with anxiety? Like obviously we're here to talk about it, our experience with it, and just share with us just like what is your story with anxiety? Like when was the first time you remember feeling super anxious?
So one of the first times that I can remember is the day before middle school. That was like the first time I had a panic attack and I was like freaking out. And I remember going to my mom and like just freaking out, being like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Because I don't do very well with change.
Yeah.
Like when something changes,
Yeah.
I don't adapt to it quickly.
Wow.
So, yeah, I remember going to my mom and just freaking out, and she helped me out a lot.
She helped you out a lot?
Yeah.
So you said something about you hate change.
Yeah.
Are you the type of person, and maybe some of the people out there are like that too, are you the type of person where things have to be a certain way, order, you have to have control? Are you that type of person?
I mean, with certain things,
Uh-huh.
a little bit,
Yeah,
but I feel like for the most part, not really.
yeah. Well, tell me a little bit, why were you anxious the day before middle school? Middle school, right?
Yeah.
Why were you anxious?
I was just, I don't even like know where
Yeah.
it came from, like where it really started from.
Wow,
I just,
really?
yeah, I really couldn't
It-
put a finger on it.
It's interesting. I have a point that I want to bring up that I brought up or that I looked up. I would say one of the points that it says is half the time people who struggle with anxiety can't pinpoint the issue.
Yeah.
Like you don't know what it is. What are you
Yeah.
anxious about? I don't know. That's why I'm even more anxious.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like, you know, for some people they can't identify it. But for a lot of us, it's hard to identify. I don't even know what I'm really anxious about. I just have this gut, horrible, terrible feeling
Right, yeah.
that everything just sucks. Like, so I remember, Chris, like my first time, and I'm 31 years old. Homeboy is what, 15?
15.
So, you know, there's a 16-year difference. But I remember my first time feeling anxious was when my family and we're about to lose the house. Right? And it's kind of like, and I remember the feeling that I had, that panic, like you're about to throw up, like,
Yeah, it sucks, bro.
bro, it sucks. You ever start sweating?
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like uncontrolled. Like I was sweating in places I didn't know I could sweat. Like it was, that's a little nasty, but it was a little crazy. Like I was afraid, and that was another thing. Like, you know, anxiety really is attached to fear, and you know, we're about to lose the house, and my dad had lost his job. And you know, we were just going through a really tough time.
Yeah.
And I was doing what you did in your story, and what a lot of us do is, the one thing I've noticed about anxiety is we overthink.
Yeah, for sure.
We make up scenarios that do not exist.
Yeah.
I remember thinking to myself, like bro, it went like this. And I want you to go back to your story in just a little bit, but when my parents came to us and talked to my brother and I, we're about to lose the house. You know, they're like, oh, you know, you're about to lose the house. And like the first thing I thought was like, oh my gosh, we're gonna lose the house. We're gonna go homeless. I'm not gonna be able to go to school. I'm gonna be a bum. I'm gonna have to work here. I'm gonna be like, I started playing out scenarios. Like I was just overthinking things so much. And I was in my head so much. And like, I'm guessing not just the day before middle school, the night before middle school, but like every other time,
Yeah.
you've gotten to a place where you're just overthinking things.
Yeah, it gets like real bad sometimes, like especially.
Tell me, what do you mean by bad? What's bad?
So like something super insignificant will happen, like maybe your homeboy don't text you back,
Right.
and then you're like, oh, he's not my friend anymore.
Damn.
He's not gonna, he doesn't like me.
Oh, really?
So these super small things that you just overplay so much and create that anxiety for like no reason.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And so anxiety is not just in like the major things. It's in like, homeboy left you on red.
Right. Right.
Stop leaving people on red, bruh. It makes us anxious. Some of you know who I'm talking about. But anyway, so like something like that, really. So you're thinking like, so now you go from fear to insecurity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like maybe it's my problem. Well, let me ask you a question. So that overthinking happens a lot
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
Overthinking happens a lot for me too. What is your? Let me ask you a question. What is your way of managing? Because here's the one thing we want to talk about too is I want to fact number one. You're never ever going to live a life anxiety free.
Yeah.
Like we are very well aware that God tells us, like there's a reason why God tells us not to be anxious, right? Because we feel it, right? The goal is not to become it. That's where we trip up. We're going to feel anxious, but our problem is, and what we're talking about today, is that we become it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you never can avoid anxiety, but you can learn how to manage it so it doesn't become your master and so it doesn't dominate your life. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to always run into that. But just tell me a little bit, kind of going off that, what are some of the ways you manage your anxiety?
So, with
the overthinking.
With my overthinking, once I start overthinking, I know, like, I'm spending too much time in my own head and I need
Ooh.
to talk to God.
Wow.
I'm talking to myself too much.
Wow.
So, I just try to pray, read some verses that mean a lot to me. And
Sure. Yeah.
help me
Yeah.
get out of my own head.
Wow. I like how you said that. I'm talking to myself too much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, the reason why I overthink is because I'm doing all the talking. Pretty much. And you know what? Christian sent me this last night when we talked, and like, the homeboy is smart. Like, there's a reason why he's got 20,000 followers on TikTok. Not because he's doing all this weird stuff on TikTok, but the man's a smart kid. Like, he's a really, really good dude. But like, I like how you said, like, God needs to start talking to you rather than you talk to yourself.
Yeah.
When was the last time, when did you have to put that into practice? When was the last time you had to do that?
Saturday night.
Really?
Yeah.
We're recording this not too far from Saturday night, bro.
Yeah.
There's a few days.
Few days.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you were feeling anxious.
Mm-hmm.
It was it something insignificant or something pretty major was going on?
I started feeling anxious for like no reason. Like,
Really?
Nothing even happened.
Wow. Like nothing. Nobody said anything to
Nobody
you.
said nothing.
Your girl loves you.
Everything was straight.
She's
yeah.
watching right now.
She's watching.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, but
So the anxious just came out of nowhere.
yeah.
And then, I was at my cousin's house,
Mhm.
and
Shout out to the Palombos.
shout out to the Blumos, yeah.
Palumbo boys.
And I texted my girl, and then like maybe an hour went by, and she ended up being asleep, and I didn't even know about it.
Oh,
So I just started overplaying situations.
Dang.
Yeah.
That overthinking ain't
That
no joke.
overthinking.
That overthinking ain't no joke, bro.
Yeah. And everything was cool. She just ended up falling asleep. Like
Wow.
it wasn't nothing.
Wow. You know, so sometimes we overthink things and we play ourselves into stress.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you played yourself into, like, you led yourself into overthinking.
Yeah.
I'm going to say. And because you were playing these scenarios that just weren't true.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, man. And then you said, you just realized, man, I gotta, how did you shut it down? How did you shut down did you immediately pray? What did you do?
We were just all kind of hanging out.
With your cousins? Okay.
Yeah. And then I was like, okay, I gotta get back in the moment
Sure.
and have fun.
Mm-hmm.
So I just went upstairs real quick, said
Yeah.
a quick prayer,
Yeah.
and then came back down and just tried to enjoy the rest of the night. Tell myself that it's nothing.
Right.
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 Yeah.
So a couple of things is you had a group of people there
Yeah.
that kind of got you out of that element.
For sure.
So that's one thing. Another helpful tip, fact too, anxiety is one when you have a good crowd around you, when you have good people around you.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be very aware that your way of winning the battle against anxiety is due to the people you surround yourself around.
Yeah.
You got to surround yourself around with some good, solid men and women, teenagers who, number one, have the same values as you do. Like, you value your relationship with God, so you surround yourself around people who have that same value.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So, like, those are very important things. But then also, kind of doing what you and I are doing today. And this is kind of like off script because I'm just thinking about stuff. Like, we have a script and everything, but, you know, homeboy and I are just talking because we got to like that. Hey, hold on one second. They don't know. But, so, fact number 3, you need to talk about anxiety, your anxiety.
Yeah.
You said something in your first story the night before going to middle school.
Mm-hmm.
You talked to your mom.
Yeah.
And she's someone that is like a big value in your life. Like, I can very much tell you love Mom Dukes. Like, I can just see it. I'm a mama's boy. I can see it on them all day. But we gotta talk about our anxiety.
Sure.
The biggest problem with anxiety is not the fact that it's not the fact that we feel it. It's the fact that we don't talk about it.
Yeah.
And that's what we're here to do. Like, we're here to share. We have an issue with it. So, do you feel freedom when you get a chance to talk about it?
I think holding it in is the worst.
Yeah,
like,
bro.
When you're holding it in, over time, it's just gonna ruin you.
The overthinking. You do more overthinking.
Yeah.
You play more scenarios.
Yeah. So talking about it, even like if you really don't feel comfortable talking about it, write it down.
Yeah.
In like a journal or something.
Right.
Just write everything
I like
down.
that. I like that, bro. That's dope. Write it down. Put it on your phone. Do something. You know, for me, I guess, as an adult, you know, again, it doesn't matter how old you are, your color of your skin, like, we all feel anxiety in somehow, some way. And, like, you know, we have different experiences, but the same anxiety. So, like, I guess for me, like you said, I like that, man, I'm talking to myself too much. Actually, Chris, I'm not gonna lie, my dude, I felt anxious last night.
Yeah.
Like, before I went to bed. Playing scenarios in my head that, like, just playing them in my head. And you ever get to the point where you're like, all right, bro, I'm going way too far.
Right, yeah.
I'm going way too far.
Like, I really gotta chill out right now.
Like, but, like, what happens is you let that voice or that overthinking go on for, like, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You can do a lot of damage to your thoughts in 5 minutes. You can do a lot of damage in your mind in 5 minutes.
Not even 5 minutes.
Not even 5 minutes. 30 seconds.
Yeah, legit.
30 seconds, my G.
Like one scenario and one thought, and you're
right.
Gonna be in a bad mood for the rest of the night.
The rest of the night, and I couldn't fall asleep.
Yeah.
I couldn't fall asleep. I remembered that, and I remember taking in what you said. I like that you said that. I mean, even he's teaching me, a teenager, teaching me like, all right, Javon, you're talking too much. God needs to talk. Mm-hmm. All right, God, what are you saying? What do you want me to understand and to know right now? God had to remind me right then and there how valued I am. Mm-hmm. He had to remind me how loved I am, but also he had to remind me of the greater purpose that I have in this world, and that he is in control of every scene in my life. So God is the director.
Yeah.
You know, not people, not anything else. God is the director. He's the author. He's the one anchoring everything. So, yeah, man, I appreciate you sharing that with me, man. I hope that helps you guys out as well. Let us know in the comment section what you guys think about that. But hey, one more thing before we get to the end. Anxiety not only comes up because we overthink things, but also, you ready for it? Stress.
For sure. Stress is a big one.
Stress. What is stress like in your life, homie?
When schoolwork starts adding up, that's always a huge stress. And
right.
It can cause a lot of anxiety.
Right.
For sure. And I know that's the same for all you guys out there, for sure. That's a big one.
Just school, school work. Girl, dating cause stress. I mean, I'm not. You ain't gotta share. Just being in a relationship, is that stressful?
Yeah, that'll definitely cause some stress.
Yeah.
Time for sure.
For sure. Family.
Family, there's stress. Always stress.
Always stress there. Right. Do you think that you're the reason for your stress?
I think I play a part in it for sure.
Do you know what I mean when I ask that?
Yeah.
So tell the people what I'm meaning when I ask, like, do you play a part in your anxiety?
Okay, so you gotta have the power to be able to say no.
Hey!
Once you start
Let's go.
saying yes to everything and just adding all this on your plate, it's just gonna stress you out. So you gotta be able to say no to some things.
Yeah.
Like dad asks you to stop at the store and grab something. You gotta be able to say, no, I can't do that.
Well, hold on. don't rebel against your parents. Dad, I ain't doing it. What did you say? We'll get the car back home. Say no to your parents, kids.
No.
Say no to your parents. No, you smooth, homie. No, but we understand what you're saying. Like,
Yeah.
like what Christian was like I said, Christian was saying, like, this is what stress is. So when you bring on unnecessary baggage,
Yeah.
you already have enough to carry. You have to tell yourself, I don't have enough rooms to carry another load. Like, we have to be sometimes there's life is just stressful. You're gonna be stressful the night before a test.
Yeah.
Some of you might have to take the ACT or the SAT or whatever exam to get into college. Like, that in and of itself is going to build some stress. Like, that's just how it is. Like, it's going to build some stress. But then there's things that what we call unnecessary stress. Those are the things that you say, like Christian said, that you say yes to, that you don't have to say yes to. Some of you are involved in 17 different sports and there's only 3 seasons. Like, I don't even know how that works, my G. Like, seriously. Like, I got baseball. Then on top of that, you got a job. Which is, I get it. You gotta make money. Then on top of that, you have toxic relationships around you, and all those things. So the one thing I think I've had to learn, Krish, with stress is I've had to do some self-inventory. Like, all right,
Yeah.
what is in my life that I need to let go?
For sure.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, what is in my life that I need to say no to?
Mm-hmm.
And I need to be okay with saying no to. Because I'm sometimes the reason for my anxiety. Because I'm always trying to be a yes man. You know what? Somebody once told me, people pleasers would be the most anxious people.
Yeah. Yeah.
People pleasers would be yes mans or yes womans would be are the most anxious people.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, you're always just trying to say, like, so our advice to you is with the whole stress thing, make sure you're doing some self-inventory. Make sure you say no. Christian, when was the last time you realize, all right, I gotta let something go? Have you experienced that, or are you gonna try to practice that a little bit more? Like, what's an example where you just had to say, bro, I gotta let this go?
Okay, so the most recent example,
Mm-hmm.
I dropped football and basketball
Okay.
because they were never I never really liked it.
Okay.
And I was just always adding way more stress than I needed.
Really?
Like, I didn't really like it, and then I would be stressed about I gotta do school all day, then 2 hours of practice after school every day.
Yeah.
So
you had to learn. So you've had to let that go.
yeah.
How tough was that? That had to be pretty tough, though.
I mean, I was kind of happy to let it go.
Really? Okay.
But I feel like there's always that part where it's like, oh, these people were expecting you to
Wow.
do this.
Wow.
And the coach comes up to you in class and is like, hey, what's going on? Why aren't you playing this year? And then it's just like, oh, no, I'm letting all these people down.
Dang. So that like I said, it goes back to the insecurity, the fear, letting people down, rejection, insecurity, like all that plays a part with your anxiety.
Yeah.
And you just were okay with your decision.
Yeah.
You know, anxiety is all about your decision.
Mm-hmm.
A big part of anxiety is the decisions you make.
Mm-hmm.
And you made a decision and you said, look, for what it's worth, my sanity is more important than sports.
Yeah.
Me being able to be my best self for my family, for my girl, for my friends, like that's better than having success in these areas, but I'm sucking inwardly. You know, Chris, you bring up a good point, bro. Like, I like that, man. You know what? Off script, that's a dope story. Christian let go, and that's an unpopular decision by a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people feel like they need to have sports to feel value.
Yeah. But that's when, like, you can pick up other things like skating or drawing.
Right.
Like, just things that you enjoy doing.
Right. Exactly.
I think doing stuff you enjoy doing is important for, like, relieving stress. Like, if you are feeling super stressed out, you can draw or skate or whatever you like to do.
So do you think there's a lot of people watching right now that do things that they don't want to do, and that's the reason why they're anxious?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really? Like, hey, I'm in band. I don't like band, but my parents make me play band.
For sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I sing in this choir. Yeah, I'm just naming. I'm in the dance team.
Yeah.
I don't want to be on the dance team. And you think that's the reason why they're anxious?
Yeah. I think some people
Wow.
will go through that.
Man, if the power of God is giving you an opportunity to make decisions, and you know, unpopular decisions are probably the moments where you feel the most free, because you know it is unpopular to go against what your parents want or what your coach wants or what your friends want, but like it's freeing for you.
Yeah.
And God wants you to be stress free. He wants you to be.
For sure.
Like there's no like God doesn't want us to be walking around sweating all the time because we got 1,000 things going on. But like God wants us to be stress free. I appreciate that, bro. Like that's pretty deep, man. Yeah. So stress, the power of saying no. We gotta be willing to say no.
Yeah.
Like if we don't learn how to say no, then anxiety is going to control us pretty much.
Yeah.
I like that, bro. I like that. I like that. And then we talked about overthinking, and overthinking begins with getting out of your head and letting God dominate your thoughts, dominate your mind. There's a very famous passage that says, "Let the word of Jesus dominate your thoughts." Like it literally says, "Let the word of Jesus dominate your thoughts," so you can know how valuable you are, so you can know who He is.
I can get with that message.
Bro, that's a dope, man. Like, let the word of Jesus dominate your mind. Like, let that dominate your mind. Not if, what if not, how come dominate your mind. Let the word of Jesus
For sure.
dominate your minds. And then, man, and then it talks about how you experience peace and all those things. Man, that's pretty powerful. Well, hey, man, I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like we got a lot to talk about with anxiety. This is on our last episode.
For sure.
Hey, we got a lot of episodes we're gonna be bringing up about anxiety because it's a big part of our lives. I hope that watching this, you were encouraged, you were educated, and you understand what we experience, and hopefully you understand what our experience is, and then you're able to see these as relevant and helpful. So that's all the time we got. I liked it. I loved it. It was our very first episode. Don't forget, subscribe, hit that like button. We're going to try to have content for you guys every single week. Hey, but also, if you got anything you want to want us to talk about, let us know.
Yeah, for sure.
Let us know. Hey, what's your TikTok again?
Krish_burger.
Krish
Check it out.
_ burger, and hit me up on Instagram. Just Anderson Jovan. It's pretty simple, pretty easy. Hit us up, man. We'll love to connect with you guys, and yeah. Hey, that's all the time we have. We love you guys. We'll see you. Hip and Holy episode 2 coming soon. See ya.
See you guys. Love ya.
Love ya.
Hey.